Hello and welcome to Nice and Blunt. I'm Adam Mariancha. Today is Wednesday, April 29th, 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and it's time for some best ball drafts. We're hopping into some puppies tonight. Probably going to do 3 drafts, at least 2. Let us begin. We got it down tonight. We got it locked and loaded. We got all of the graphics and the intro correctly sorted. Appreciate everyone that's happening, whether you're in here now or you're watching on the replay. Thank you for joining me. I hope you have a lovely Wednesday evening. Thank you so much, Fantasy Dog, being the number 2 like, number 1 chat, number 1 fan. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate your support, and thank you as always for being a YouTube member. And you've been a real one since like day 1 of live streaming. I feel Fantasy Dog has been in here, so thank you so much, man. There's a reason you're a mod, and you've deserved it. But Jeremy's in here asking for a BBM. We will do one on the weekend. I assure you, we will do multiple Best Ball Mania entries every week. However, I already did 2 on day 1. At the moment, I'm trying to pace them out just a little bit. And as I figure out my new strategy in the 18th round contests, I'm going to be honest with you, tonight we are postponing the BBM entry. No offense, just keeping it real. It will happen. I assure you that. But you are the number 1 like. So perhaps if we can get you what you if we get 40 likes, then the 3rd draft will be a Best Ball Mania. How about that? If we can get to 40 likes for Jeremy, then our 3rd draft will be a Best Ball Mania. But most likely we're hopping into some puppies. But Scott's in here, Danimal's in here, and appreciate you, Fancy Dog. Thank you very much. But we're hopping into a puppy. Don't want to get too in the weeds on this, but the advance rate is better than it was last year. And 2 out of 12 is typical. 1 out of 10, that's what it was last year. But then 1 out of 6 for a bigger final. We are seeking first prize in this tournament, 100K to first off a $5 entry. That's a pretty dope outcome. So I'm going to be hopping in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And if you want to join, looks like I was in instantly. Holy shit. At least maybe I don't have to draft with as many of y'all. Maybe I'm not getting sniped in this one, but perhaps you clicked it during the countdown, and maybe you are in this one. But odds are you're in the overfill. We will draft at least 1 more tonight. I assure you that. And what's clucking, Goofy Chicken? How you doing? Happy to see you. I will definitely be in touch with you. I will be in touch on X. I assure you that. Next week is when I'm gonna have some guests on, and Goofy Chicken, we will sort something out very soon, I assure you. But if you haven't done so already, subscribe to Goofy Chicken. Got a fun channel over there, really dope streams, and an up-and-coming streamer in the space. Thank you for joining us tonight. Hulk Smash Potatoes is in here. What's up, my man? It's been a minute, but did we draft with you the other day? I appreciate you hopping in, whether or not. But Jeremy, got to get number 4 BBM in for me. There's plenty of time, man. There's plenty of time to get there. But do I recognize anyone in here with us? I know Champ watches, but maybe it's just a coincidence. I think Champ 91 at the 101, currently on the clock, I think is in here with us. But otherwise, I was the last person in this lobby, so odds are you're not. But if you are lurking, let us know, and we'll definitely give you a longer countdown next time. Hopefully the odds are more in your favor if you really wanted to hop into the lobby. But I'll be honest, I'm grateful. Y'all are sharp, and this is as close to a non-streamed draft as I can get in terms of all the drafts I do on my own time where I don't have to worry about anyone sniping me. But in general, no, that doesn't usually happen. If anything, y'all might be fairly generous to me sometimes. Like, I don't remember who was in the lobby yesterday, but you gifted me Lamar Jackson at pick 60. That was a mistake, but I'll take Jonathan Taylor here. I think I'm happy with that. Taylor's just going to get so much volume, and although he wasn't quite the same player when Daniel Jones was out last year, he's probably getting some more volume. Like Michael Pittman leaving with no replacement. If anything, Tyler Warren and Alec Pierce are getting more targets, but there might just be more of a commitment to the run as well. And even if Daniel Jones does miss time and it affects Taylor, Daniel Jones will be back theoretically at the end of the season. Second half of the year, when it matters most, when you're making money in this tournament, the Colts offense should be a full go. So I think Taylor might not finish as the RB3, but I think he's warranted and deserving to be drafted as the RB3. Less injury concern compared to Christian McCaffrey. And I think there's a standpoint that I think most people can agree with in round one. I'm not quite sure if you can win your draft in the first round, but there is a way where you can lose it. There's a way to lose your draft in the early rounds. There are some players that might lose you the league, but typically, I don't think Taylor's one of those guys. And typically, it's only because of injury. The only reason they would lose it for you is usually because of injury. Anyways, about to be back on the clock. Let's bring in the music. My bad. I've been neglectful of the music sometimes, but that's probably too loud. Here we go. I think we're going to settle in at this decibel level. Let me know if you think it's too loud or not. But in the meantime, answer the poll below. This feels pretty strong. I'm going to go Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry. I think Henry is an extremely valuable round 2 pick as he falls to the second half most of the time. His ADP has been rising in this contest, and I understand why. I think you can pull Derrick Henry up as high as the first pick of the second round. Even if you wanted to get different with it, you know, like you could put Derrick Henry and Kenneth Walker together. You could put Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry together. But James Cook, Derrick Henry, that feels pretty good. Genty Derrick Henry is also not something I'm afraid of. But from a volume standpoint, touchdown standpoint, I'll go Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry. I'm not going to be upset with that. But Peter is champ. I had a feeling. In at the 1, he goes Gibbs, Nico Collins, and Josh Jacobs. Pretty legit. I think the double running back, when you have Gibbs, 2 by round 3, is a pretty safe bet that you'll feel comfortable with your team the rest of the way. Just the volume dries up at running back much more rapidly. But Fancy Dog subscribed to Goofy Chicken, and if you just joined us, hit up Goofy Chicken Fantasy as well. Give him a subscription. And it's not just because he complimented the start. That's not the only reason. Absolutely. 100% deserves it, and look forward to a collab soon with Goofy Chicken. Jeremy says just found the chicken the other day. Definitely a good time. Love the clips. The snipe clip, the snipe drop is one of my favorites of all time, especially with the fa echo. I've been trying to get better at my fa. If we get sniped, I'll try to drop it. But am I gonna go trip RB? Here's the thing. This is never a click I'm making. I always go Travis Etienne over Breece Hall, but I'm going to get different today just because I definitely have some other teams probably in the big board, most notably, that are Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry, Travis Etienne. I feel like I've clicked Etienne a little too much in the first few days of these contests. He's one of my favorite round 3 picks, and he's been falling lately. I don't really understand why after the draft, the Saints' elite options fell. I know they drafted Jordan Tyson, but in my opinion, that just solidifies that their offense is going to be better. They didn't have a wide receiver 2. I know some of y'all believe in Devon Vele, but I felt it was pretty obvious they were probably taking a receiver with their top 10 draft pick. And I really like the offense. They traded away Shaheed last year, so it's a void that needed filling. And I trust in Kellen Moore. Their schedule's also dope. The Saints, with a 4th place schedule this season, are going to shock some people. I think they are very live to win that division. I think if you had to pick a team that is eligible to go from worst to first. Not too many qualify, but I do think the Saints are pretty viable there. I think the Lions are a pretty interesting option for that. And then the NFC East is usually kind of up for grabs, but no effing chance it happens in the AFC East. I wouldn't expect it to happen in the AFC West. AFC North, there's no way that Cleveland wins it. So that usually happens at least once a year. And when you really think about it, I think the Saints are a pretty viable option to do that. But damn, not in love with our options right now. But I'm never going to be upset with taking a Charger. So give me Ladd McConkey at pick 42. Opens up Justin Herbert later. That's always a pretty fun combo. And I think taking a fourth running back, you can still make it work, but for the sake of what I'm trying to do right now, it feels a little overboard. But this was an interesting fourth round. If you look at how this thing fell, the ADPs are completely changing every day, and who's to say that what they've been is what they should be. So I kind of like the Jameson Williams reach at 38. I don't think it's a reach at all. Over Tet McMillan is notable. So the team at 10, the WA 1-1, goes Jefferson, Walker, Olave at 34, and then Tet McMillan at 39. I've always kind of felt like Tet is more of a fourth rounder, but I think it kind of just speaks to the drop-off of certainty at receiver in the late third round, early fourth round. And in general, I kind of just want to promote the better offenses and trust that situation. I want to be betting on where it's most likely to score a lot of touchdowns. So that's what scares me about Tet McMillan. You have to trust Bryce Young. It's not impossible, but it's just not the bet I want to be making in the top 36 options. I think taking Olave makes a lot more sense. I did take Breece Hall on this team. Typically, I'm not doing that, but I'm a little less reliant on Breece crushing every single week, given I started Taylor and Henry. I can at least rely on Breece Hall's spike weeks and not much else. He's mostly filling in at flex on this roster. So not my favorite click with Breece Hall. I prefer Chris Olave, honestly. But today we mixed it up. Today we got different. And it may be incorrect. The Jets, in general, don't inspire much confidence. But they made a lot of additions to the offense via the draft. A lot of passing targets are open. Geno Smith comes to town. Frank Reich is the offensive coordinator. A lot of variables, but ultimately the Jets are probably just going to jet. But if he was leading the poll right now, then I think I would pass on him. I think I should take Lamar Jackson, but you know what? Today, we're going to see what happens. We're going to move on. I'm going to go Rome Odunze, because I feel like there's a bit of a cliff at wideout coming up soon. The talent in round 6 just doesn't quite compare. And it's not that there are like no options with this level ceiling, but I don't think there's any more options with this level floor that Rome Odunze offers. It's in the Chicago offense. That's sign me up, baby. Give me the Chicago Bears. It's hard to get them on your team. They mostly go in the 4th. Rome falls in the 5th, but it's not the most convincing argument to tell me that Burden definitively should be going over Rome Odunze. Until Rome got hurt, he was putting up like top 10 really good numbers. So I think he's better than this pick would suggest. I think he's a lot safer to stay healthy than someone like Mike Evans or Devontae Adams. I would rather bet on his youth. And DJ Moore always stays healthy. So that's where I think DJ Moore is a great pick. The team with Allen got him at 54. Good for that team at 6. But beyond him, Christian Watson's fine. Carnell Tate is pretty interesting. I do like Brian Thomas, but Rome Odunze has a lot of safety in terms of just like sheer wide receiver points that I'm going to need to get through the contest. I want to be building for optimism. and upside in the final 3 weeks when I get to the playoffs. That's critical, but I also need to make it there. But Lamar Jackson goes the pick after. Maybe I should have taken him, but I've been taking Lamar a ton, and it's not bad, but sometimes I want to mix it up. That's all. But Burrow goes...
Nice and blunt.
Unstacked, by the way. The team with Higgins passed, and then Burrow just gets taken off the board. But I do think Tyson's pretty valuable here. Jaden Daniels does go. I'm going to take Caleb, though. There's not the most compelling arguments, and I feel like the way the quarterback operates at this point in time, I just want to get my guys. I just want to get the stacking partners that I've set up. We have Rome Odunze. Give me Caleb Williams. Caleb's probably not making it back to 79. And I consider this range of the draft board just so flat at the wide receiver and even running back position. Because of the nature of quarterback pretty soon, it makes a lot of sense to just take him here. I think I'm going to try and get 3 quarterbacks on this team. It feels like one of the most compelling ways to go about it. Because I'll tell you this, when you're in the fantasy playoffs, in the underdog formats, and you only have one quarterback that's healthy, and the other one is pretty good, but they're just injured, it feels a lot better when you look at your other rosters that have depth, at least have options, at least have bullets in the chamber. And sometimes quarterback is the position that can really separate more than any other position. Like a Trevor Lawrence 42-pointer in the playoffs is a huge difference maker when like the next best option is like barely cracking like 32, 33 points. You know, if you can get an extra 8 points over the next best option, you are in great shape. And although it's possible to do that at other positions, let's not pretend, especially this late in the draft, it's pretty hard to find. You know, other than the random Trey Tucker 40 points, coincidentally, Sean Tucker 40 points last year, it just doesn't happen too often. And RJ Harvey, absolutely a terrible pick here. I'm pretty Travion pilled at this point, so I'm back to my roots, back to hating on Ramondre, expecting the cliff to just be inevitable. And we're going to pull up my boy Justin Herbert. We're going to double tap QB, and with the same mantra, let's just get good, high-quality options that can finish in the top 3. We could have the QB1 in any given week with Caleb Williams. He could also be outside the top 20, given the nature of some of their rushing attack. But then Justin Herbert, kind of the same thing. I do think with Mike McDaniel, though, they're going to be less reliant on the defense this year. Their defense is good, but that offense is going to take a big leap in LA. But let me get back to the chat. Hulk Smash ran into me on a non-stream draft. No wonder you rang a bell. But in general, this is the time of year where, especially if you're watching a live stream at this point in time, there's a chance you're just doing high enough volume. We're gonna weave in and out of each other's drafts. Inevitably, you just have to be in a group of 12. So best of luck to you, my man. Appreciate you hopping in today, and hope to see you in a future lobby. But I am kind of grateful that the only person watching in this lobby is Peter. Peter is champ 91 at the 101. And after this pick, let's take a quick look at Peter's team, see what he's working with, and then maybe kind of reassess the nature of this board. Rico Dowdle goes. Would have liked Rico, but I got 3 running backs already. I do like Jaden Reed. Ramondre fell, but I don't really give a shit. I'm going to go Jaden Reed. The Packers offense is just really solidified in terms of who's getting the targets, who's getting the ball. Jaden Reed just needs to stay healthy, and he's going to crush this value. I think he's very, very nice for this format, particularly at this price. But Champ is rocking with Hurts, Gibbs, Jacobs and Scadaboo, pretty good running back room. And then Nico, Adams, and Lemon. Adams on the thumbnail today, so maybe some good vibes there. But I do like the Hurts, Mackay, Lemon round 6-7 combo. I do like that quite a bit. Whether you have an Eagle or not, whether you drafted Devontae Smith or not. That's where I think if you have Devontae and you want the stack, you got to just pair him with Hurts in the 6th round. Because now there's like an immediate... You see it right away when you're looking at the ADP and you consider to yourself, am I going to take Hurts here? And then you see Lemon also with Philadelphia sitting right behind him, especially if you're at the turn. Why not? It's the same argument with Goff and Laporta, especially when you have someone like Gibbs. I had a team very similar to this earlier today myself. At least those last 4 rounds, I did the exact same thing, champ. Hurts in the 6th, Mackay in the 7th, Goff in the 8th, and Laporta in the 9th. So I respect it. Very nice start to the draft. I liked your running back room, and then definitely last 4 rounds, something I would do as well. All right, would have been nice to get QJ, honestly. I'm fine with the Quentin Johnston price outside the top 100, but still some viable options. The running back position's been drying up, so happy to just lean on my trio. And then here, it's a little tough, but the draft and then some injury concerns and then trade options. I think Pittman's a little more locked into production. The Pittman in Pittsburgh to be good for me. I also want to give myself any excuse I can to just take more Aaron Rodgers while his price is cheap. I'm 98% convinced that Aaron Rodgers will not retire, and he is a Pittsburgh Steeler just like last year, waiting until after the schedule to make his return to the locker room. But I just don't think they're operating in a way that suggests they feel desperate at quarterback. Rodgers is part of the plan, and I'm as close to locking it in that he's their starter. So maybe Pittman will be a riser when that happens. But at the very least, I think 2 rounds after DK Metcalf, I'm hyper targeting Pittman among the Steelers pass catchers by comparison. I think Metcalf has always been a little overrated, going much later than typical, so probably does pay off. But I still think Pittman can be like neck and neck, really close to the same level outcomes as DK Metcalf. But what's up, Crossface, my man? How we doing? Yeah, let's definitely light it up. Thank you for joining. I saw you in Huhaim's draft earlier. Those were some fun teams in the super flex contest. We were right next to each other, but let's light it up and then make this next pick. What's up, Everinflux? Appreciate you. Good timing for me to rip the pipe then. Robust RB team. Basically, we started Trip RB, and I don't hate it. We've moved off the position for quite some time, but I don't feel behind. I feel in good shape, and I don't feel like I need to force anything. We're just taking values where they come. And I do really like Kenneth Gainwell here, but today I'm going to take the stack. I think Oronde Gadsden can really break open the tight end position. And from a spike week standpoint, other than Kyle Pitts, I don't think we had a higher yardage total in any game than Oronde Gadsden last year. If you recall his game against the Colts, I was there in person. I watched Jonathan Taylor score 3 rushing touchdowns. I watched Keenan Allen set the franchise record in receiving yards. I saw Antonio Gates get honored by LaDainian Tomlinson at halftime. And I saw the future tight end 1 of the Chargers pop off for 9 targets, 7 catches, 164 yards, and a touchdown in a barn burner in the second half. Just lit it up. 164 yards and a touchdown on 7 catches is fucking wild. So Gadsden can blow up. Plus, you factor in just how good Darren Waller was last year when most of us had written him off. He didn't stay healthy, but he was scoring a touchdown every fucking week. And then on top of that, the year before that, Jonnu Smith finishes a top 5 tight end. Oronde Gadsden might be one of the tight ends that breaks open fantasy football. So I got the Justin Herbert combo going. I needed a tight end. And while Kenneth Gainwell does fall to 119, I am trusting my depth and my strategy up top. We got locked into 3 starters with Taylor, Henry, and Breece Hall, and enough talent to warrant passing on a good value. I think Kenneth Gainwell in the 10th round is my favorite by far and away click at running back. But we got Caleb Williams, Justin Herbert, not desperate at quarterback at all. This is an interesting spot of the draft. But personally, I think the overwhelming best value at tight end right now is Dallas Goedert. The price on Devontae Smith has skyrocketed into the top 30. Meanwhile, Dallas Goedert is falling down the board. I don't get it. I know they drafted Eli Stowers, but Stowers I don't think is ready to be blocking enough. I don't think Stowers can beat Grant Calcaterra very much in his first year. I think Goddard, as long as he's healthy, is clearly by far and away the top option. And he is also in the same caliber of Gadsden. Can just break open the week, give you 25 points. Round 11, Dallas Goedert, whether you have Jalen Hurts or not, I think is a fucking smash. And I've been planting my flag. If you watch the streams, if you've been in any lobby with me off the stream, I'm taking Goddard at a very high clip right now. And it's the first week. I'm not afraid to go a little overboard. I think once the A.J. Brown trade happens, Goddard will be closer to Kyle Pitts. I think Goddard might go over Oronde Gadsden, at least move up a full round. But in general, the positional value is still kind of skewed. He's much better, though, than Jake Ferguson, in my opinion, and much healthier, so therefore a safer option than George Kittle. But Hulk says Sharp had a post that the Saints had the most drives in opponent's territory that ended in no points, so the upside is there. I love that stat. Thank you very much for dropping that little nugget. That's pretty dope. I'm very high on the Saints the more I think about them. I love their draft. And Alvin Kamara, I think, is actually a bit of a godsend in terms of value at running back late. I think he's very clearly the backup, and I don't think he's going to retire. I don't think so. Just like Aaron Jones, just like James Conner, he's going to stick around. But Omar Cooper is here, probably deserves to keep falling. So that means we're looking at Jets. Jalen McMillan's probably going to fall. This is not great, but Shaheed is the most clearly safe option. I was really hoping that we would get Jonathan Brooks back, but looks like he's officially in the 11th round now, top 130. So got to readjust my stance on Jonathan Brooks. I've taken a shit ton of him already, so I'm not too afraid. But if you're someone who sticks around to the end of my drafts, the end of the live stream, then you also know one of my other stances on Jonathan Brooks that, at the very least, I don't hear anybody else mentioning. But we'll tease that and bring him up later. But if you know, you know. I trust some of you know already. But this feels like a solid time for yet another hit, Crossface. I slept on the chat a little long. I'm sure this has been here waiting well long enough. So let's get it going. All right, how we doing, Shamrock? Pleasure to see you. And same with Jamie. Bonne soirée to you as well. Jamie is the man behind the music. Jamie's been on the channel. Jamie's in the fantasy space as well. And I believe IDP Center is the best place to follow Jamie in case you have not done so already. Check that out. IDP leagues, not my forte. But if I had to guess, Jamie, what's What's the value of Travis Hunter in like a redraft IDP league? How much higher do you take Travis Hunter in an IDP setting? But Shamrock. Oh, my bad. I forgot the board around that turn. We'll pull that up after this pick. I still don't know what to make of Algier. Because James Conner's still there. But do I just take Algier at this stage? Gotta get back in at some point, but I'm not like dying to do it. I think I'm gonna go Daniel Jones actually. Also pretty solid fall, 10 picks, and I have Taylor on this team, so we're locking up all of the valuable touchdowns in Indy for this squad. Okay. At the very least, round 13, pick 151 on Daniel Jones is a good price. And I told you I wanted 3 quarterbacks. He has legit upside. But remember when the Bills got Amari Cooper and it didn't exactly pan out? Think Moore will be better fit. That Bills receiver room is hard to navigate. I do believe that DJ Moore will be a better fit than at least Amari Cooper. Cooper traded mid-season, late in his career, ended up retiring immediately after. Yeah, I can understand why that didn't really work out. DJ Moore getting a full off-season and training camp, I think that's a much different situation. DJ Moore also familiar with the Joe Brady offense back to Carolina. They have been linked together in the past. And at that time, DJ Moore was putting up like 1,200 yards from scrimmage. Some of that in the run game. He, I think, will fit in nicely. And the thing about DJ Moore, if he gets a little banged up, although people question his motor sometimes and like his body language, like he kind of mopes around the field sometimes, and that's valid sometimes. Wide receivers can be, divas. I don't think it limits his availability at all. He's had like 5 straight years of 17 straight games. He does not come off the field. If he does, it's only like 1 game a season. DJ Moore is relentless. So I think he's a great value. Here, though, I'm disregarding ADP. I'm willing to let Mike Washington keep falling. I'm going to go Brian Robinson. I think, the argument with Taylor Algier is the contract, but then Jeremiah Love, James Conner being there poses a problem. And, like, maybe we're just living in the past when it comes to Algier's upside. Because last year he scored 8 touchdowns. Well, the role he left is now occupied by Brian Robinson. And maybe Brian Robinson is also poised to score like 8 touchdowns. I'm also under the impression that B-Rob is in a contract season. I don't think he signed a long-term deal. Yeah, 1-year deal. He's 27, going to be back on the open market. I like that for him. A lot of motivation to get paid next year again. Love the contract season aspect of the narrative with the B-Rob click. So round 14, 100% worth it. And then Champ knows at least where I was looking, takes my boy Tank Bigsby. That's fair. He's a very legit click as well. Kudos. That was correct. I think Bigsby's like just blaringly, obviously, one of the most valuable options this late. But at least we went really heavy early at running back. Brian Robinson is my 4th, feels perfectly fine. And Stowers goes, be my guest. I don't care. I'm not going to be drafting Stowers in the 15th round. Not when starters are available. No, I'm not going to do that. But Debo's still there. Debo has a sneaky link potential with the Chargers. Debo used to play for the Niners. You know who used to coach Debo and call plays? Mike McDaniel. And if we go to the cap space market, the Chargers still have $41.2 million in effective cap space available in free agency. What if I get a Debo Justin Herbert stack? What if that happens? I think these free agent veterans are like smash selections. Because once they sign, they're going earlier. Like the only reason Debo, Diggs, and like Juwan Jennings are going this late is because there is no team associated with them on the board. Once there is a team, they just have to go, even if it's Miami. What if it's Las Vegas? Juwan Jennings has been linked to the Vikings. I think that's pretty interesting too. Diggs, if Diggs goes back to Buffalo, that would suck for DJ Moore. But I don't expect that to happen. I think he kind of burned that bridge. But Debo has a lot of different outcomes, and some people still think the Chargers are bringing back Keenan Allen. I think with that much money, they can get someone younger and better for the fit in the system than Keenan Allen. So, a prayer with Deebo Samuel. But perhaps if who I want is still on the board in this next pick, then maybe it's a good thing he doesn't go to the Chargers. But two of the running backs I would have wanted, Kamara and Singleton, go immediately after me. So perhaps I should have taken my RB5, but not going to fret, not going to worry about it. Instead, I'll take the falling value on Trey Harris. At the very least, I'm just locking up more Justin Herbert stacks. I got Trey Harris and Gadsden locked in, and maybe now I'm rooting for Debo not to go to the Chargers, but it's still just a really good offense. I'll take that. Trey Harris round 16 all day. After Jeremy Bernard, all day. Well, what's up, Who Hames? How we doing? Subscribe to Who Hames if y'all have not done so already. And check out for his 12-hour live stream on Sunday. I will be joining, and I cannot wait. That's going to be really, really fun this weekend. But you know what? We probably can. It looks like we're up to 22 likes now since he said that. We got 46 watchers. So if y'all are liking the team, let's remind you how it's going. Hit that like button for me. We started off with the trip RB strategy, robust running back, and then we stopped for a while. We went Taylor, Derrick Henry, Breece Hall out of the 7 slot, Ladidi McConkey, Rome Odunze in the 5th, Caleb and Justin Herbert stacked up both of them in the 6th and 7th round. Then I got Jaden Reed, Michael Pittman in rounds 8 and 9. I took Oronde Gadsden, Dallas Goedert. I'm probably stopping at 2 tight ends, but if there's a good value, maybe I will take another. I got Rashid Shaheed. I think in the range that he goes stands out as one of the highest upside. Just what you're going to get. You can kind of project big spike weeks. That's his role. He scores deep shot touchdowns. And sometimes he also can score a random punt return touchdown. He's the Percy Harvin of the Seahawks this year. And with a full training camp offseason, I think he's going to deliver. I think he's a really good pick. So we like him. Here is tricky, though. And running backs, not amazing. I do think there's a chance that Emmanuel Wilson is maybe being slept on a little bit. Jadarian Price, as good as he looks, is not someone that is proven to catch the ball at a high rate. The problem with Kenneth Walker was that he was ultimately in a time split. And maybe Jadarian Price will be in the exact same situation for a minute. I'm not fully convinced that Emmanuel Wilson will be irrelevant. So we waited a long time. And I think round 17, a pretty fair price point on Emmanuel Wilson. A little past ADP, but he's been falling in general. So it is what it is. But so far I have a 3-5-7-2 build. Caleb, Justin Herbert, Daniel Jones, Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry, Breece Hall, Brian Robinson, and Emmanuel Wilson. Wide receivers, Lad McConkey, Rome Odunze, Jade Reed, Michael Pittman, Rashid Shaheed, Deebo Samuel, and Trey Harris. And then tight end room has Oronde Gadsden, Dallas Goedert. And it's the final round. I think we're looking at wide receiver or tight end. Tight end probably makes the most sense. There's actually like some names I really like here. And most of these teams already kind of commit to tight end. This guy's got Kincaid and Barner. So I think this team probably takes one, but Keith knows. I don't think you're getting him today. At least not in this one. Not on this one. Kalen Black. Shout out Jerry Football. One of a few investors in Kalen Black in the big board. Glad we mixed him in a little bit. Because otherwise I would only have Jordan James. I think you probably want a little bit of both, but all right, he's still there. David Njoku has the potential to really fucking crush. I'll go David Njoku here. Can hit the flex. Tremendous upside. I've got a ton of Freiermuth and Rodgers already. Njoku was my most drafted tight end in the big board pre-draft contest. And if you're telling me he's still available around 18 in these, like fucking all day, the way that the rookie tight end market fell, David Njoku's gonna deliver, man. David Njoku's fucking crushing it once he signs. There's no fucking chance David Njoku is going 210. Hell yeah. Give me David Njoku all day. Final round. Yeah, thank you, Peter. Yeah, Danimal, you know. It's pretty crazy that he hasn't signed at this point. Like, once you know what happened after the draft, like, you can go wherever you want. Maybe he just doesn't want to, like, deal with training camp a little bit. Who knows? But Njoku can give you like 15 targets in a game. Let's go game log career, because like some of these games really stand out. This last year he maxed out, I believe it's 7 targets here. Oh no, this was rookie season. My bad. Yeah, I'm gonna start from the bottom. Last year he had a 9 target game, 6 for 67 and a touchdown. But then he kind of closed out 2024 on this like truly elite run. 17 targets, 13 targets, 10 targets. Whoops, my bad. An average 13.3 targets, 8 catches, 53 yards, and scored 3 touchdowns in that span. Like, just I don't see how he's not signing somewhere and just like fully delivering. But Keith sees Njoku in Baltimore. So does Everin Flux. That was definitely mentioned. I think that'd be fun, but I think the Bengals would be the most exciting. Bengals would really get it going, especially with this combo by hell yeah. Joe Flacco hyper. I mean, what if we get a Bengals Joe Flacco and Njoku reunion? What if we get that? You know, that'd be pretty fun, because Flacco's just fucking slinging it. Yo, if you're in the super flex leagues, I think you have to be drafting Joe Flacco every now and then. But okay, let me get back to the chat, and then we'll take a look at Champ's full roster, and then we'll draft another puppy. Okay. Not sure where this was in reference to, but maybe Daniel Jones. That one was a good one. Nice green bean. Yeah, it's very satisfying to have a clean experience with a fresh pipe every now and then. But what's up, Bayou? I'm doing good. I hope you're doing good, and appreciate you hopping in here. If you haven't done so already, check out Bayou Bengal FN and subscribe over there. He is not a Cincinnati Bengal fan. He's a Louisiana Bengal. I assume this is linked to LSU, given the Bayou, and I know you're from the New Orleans area, if I'm not mistaken. But Everyone Flux loves Gadden. Yeah, the Mike McDaniel tight end gotta be compelling, right? It's not that late round flyer on tight end, is it? No, it would be. It'd be our boy.
Nice and blunt.
He who should not be named until I click him off the board. Algier may be their goal line back. I've been taking him a lot. As he continues to fall, it's probably... Maybe I should have taken him... Let's see, where did I pass on him? I took Daniel Jones instead, and they both fell 10 spots. So a good discount on both. But I think round 13 is a very nice, affordable price on Algier. Given how he's delivered, what he got paid, and like, you know, he was the backup to a top 10 pick already. He knows what to do. And the offense that Notre Dame ran last year, where Jeremiah Love excelled, had 2 running backs. So I think Algier's probably okay. I definitely want him over Woody Marks, but I still think I prefer Brian Robinson, to be honest with you. Like, that's my personal take. If Brian Robinson's still available, I'd probably leave Algier. But they both feel like tremendous values. Nobody drafts corners in IDP, so it depends on his offensive usage. If he gets 4 or 5 targets a game on offense, then he would be more valuable in that DB spot. I'm surprised no one drafts a single corner in an IDP league. I would have assumed, like, at the very least, on occasion, somebody can contribute. Because, like, if that's the case, then maybe interceptions should be worth way more to make it more viable. But like I said, I've never played IDP before, but interesting. I would have thought Travis Hunter would be more valuable. Yeah, the Joe Brady connection is why I'm willing to trust in DJ Moore. It's not just Josh Allen. It's the system fit. I think is ideal. What's up? All right, so Jamie says, my dude Evan was just on our rookie show over at Fantasy Six Pack, and I think he would be an awesome guest on your show, vice versa. Sweet. I if you can email me or something, let me know what his Twitter handle is, and I'll try and be in touch. Definitely. Peter says, I def had B-Rob queued. Sorry, but well, you took Bigsby from me, so at least we split the gold mine there. But thank you, Danimal. We got 31 likes, so yeah, we're 100% on pace to do a BBM later. But thank y'all for hopping in. I'm gonna catch up with the chat as quick as I can, and then we'll definitely hop into another puppy. But Bryce asking, in Dynasty, what players would you like in order? Ladd versus Brees Hall versus K9 versus Burden, Judkins and Tyson. Thing is, I don't play Dynasty, so like this is something I've never really put much thought into. If I had to guess right now, I'd be thinking K9, Hall, Burden, Ladd, Judkins, Tyson is probably... That's tough, man. I'm not seeing that much difference between a lot of them. Like, I'm more of a win now mindset. So like, you could argue that Tyson should be much higher, but honestly, like, I think I'd go K9, Brees Hall, Burden, Ladd, Tyson, Judkins, just because Judkins in Cleveland. I think so. I just don't think it's going to be his bread and butter year one. I don't think it's going to be, 5 targets a game for Jadarian Price. I think Emmanuel Wilson can handle third down relatively consistent enough to keep himself viable in my best ball lineup. But he may have been a wasted pick. He's live to be a really bad pick, but if you're drafting running back that late, once Ray Davis is off the board, there's not many guys who I at least know are locked in to be the RB2 for most of the year. But Yeah, Jamie's music is fucking dope. I appreciate the compliment. And as we shift into draft number 2, we'll give you our more traditional song, um, and I think we'll have a more consistent rotation moving forward, where every draft we try and have a different soundtrack. But already got Lamar, Pat, Genty, Loveland. Yeah, Jerry's intro's phenomenal. Gotcha. So tackles are just much more critical. I get it. Thank you, Young Moolah. We are about to do a puppy as well. Thank you for hopping in. If you have not done so, check out GAB for Life as well. Friend of the channel. Some dope content as well over there. But Jamie says Evan doesn't use Twitter, only Bluesky and Discord. Okay, well, if you're interested, if he's watching, he can email me at niceandblunt@gmail.com. If anyone is interested in getting in contact with me for some collabs, I'm happy to schedule something. We're getting back into the collab rotation starting this weekend and next week. And yeah, niceandblunt@gmail.com is where you can email me directly, or you can find me on Twitter at niceandblunt. Yeah, Jamie is definitely a much more knowledgeable resource on Dynasty, at least experience-wise. Jamie's played a lot of Dynasty. I have not. Yeah, this song is dope. This song is pretty nice, and it's been about time since we mixed it up, but all right. Let's remind you, my roster. Let's take a look at champs, and then we are moving on, I promise you, in the next 2 minutes. Caleb, Justin Herbert, and Daniel Jones. I'm happy with the quarterback room. Phenomenal, in my opinion. Running back, Taylor, Henry, and Breece Hall. We're really counting on them. The handcuffs with Brian Robinson, one of the most valuable, in my opinion. And Emmanuel Wilson got a little behind. Wish I had Tank Bigsby. Lad McConkey stacked up. Rome Odunze stacked up. Jaden Reed and Michael Pittman feel like very good clicks, respectively, at 90 and 103. Rashid Shaheed at 138. I'm very happy with him in that range. And then Deebo Samuel will rise up once he signs, potentially with the Chargers, but hopefully not, because I also got Trey Harris stacked up, and he could really deliver as league-winning potential if they don't sign anyone. If it's not Deebo, if it's not Diggs or Tyreek Hill or Keenan, then Trey Harris, I think, will smash at 186. Got a good falling value on Trey Harris. But tight end feels phenomenal in this one. Oronde Gadsden stacked up. Goddard, who I think is super valuable. And then David Njoku at 210, being slept on. These free agents, I think now is the time where you really need to hammer them in your lineups right now. The prices will not be this cheap. Give it 2 weeks. Give it a week or two. They will find landing spots, and they will not be this cheap very shortly. Otherwise, Champ was the only one in here with us at the 101, guys. Has Jalen Hurts, Jared Goff, and CJ Stroud. Good quarterback room. It's also well correlated. We got Nico Collins, Mekhi Lemon, and then Jahmyr Gibbs and Sam Laporta. Dontavian Wicks as well, for what that's worth. But running back room with Gibbs and Jacobs, Scadaboo, very nice up top. Snipe me on Bigsby as the RB4, very, very nice. And then Katron Allen, sneaky upside. One of the few third running backs on a roster that I do think can emerge and be very valuable. Perhaps this year's JCM. Katron, don't sleep on him. But wide receiver Nico Collins, Devontae Adams, Mekhi Lemon, Jaden Higgins. So a double Texan stack. I didn't notice that. That's pretty good. Jalen Coker at a nice price as well. Juwan Jennings, also free agent. I definitely want to draft, but the Viking spot I think is the least exciting among some of the open vacancies right now. Like, you're telling me they go to the Chargers? I'm way more excited versus the Vikings. Not that the Vikings receiver 3 can't play well, but it hasn't been that critical historically. At least if he goes to Miami, there's a lot of volume available, and then there's some higher upside in, Baltimore or New England, hypothetically, if they do not get A.J. Brown, but that seems like a lock, most likely. Anyways, like taking the free agent, Juwan Jennings as well. Ryan Flournoy, Dontavian Wicks, solid, but a little mid. You have 8 of them, though, so some extra depth never hurts. It is at least correlated with Wicks. But Laporte and Henry, great clicks. Love the tight end room. Running back room is great. Wide receiver, a few names I don't take too often, like Flournoy and Wicks. Now I'm probably, I guess not as much Flournoy, but you know, it is what it is. Up top though, I like it a lot, and good luck with Stroud, but I don't think you need him very much. When he smashes, that's when it matters. So, all right, good team. We will move on to the puppy, and if you've been waiting, we're hopping in 7, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Waiting on 3. Hopefully you didn't hit the underfill. But there's 2 spots left, so looks like we got 7 of y'all that hopped in pretty quickly. So now that we're on to draft 2, let's fade out slowly of our soundtrack today. I think it's been on loop enough where we can move on. And we're officially into draft number 2. Let's bring in this soundtrack. We have started, I pulled a 106, so pretty similar spot to our last draft. Going to try and be different, but top of ADP will be Jonathan Taylor again. So maybe I take him, but let's take a look at who's in here with us. We got Severe Jury in here. Welcome, my man. Good to see you. We got Super Beast at the 2 slot. We got Green Bean at 104. I see Dave Arang at the 107, followed by Young Moolah right behind him at 108. I kind of feel like I recognize Dan H, but maybe not. I might be mistaken. But Libra definitely in here, along with Danimal at the 10 and 11. And then, don't recognize him, but Forey Wayne in at the 112. Acevedo, Infamous. Oh, how could I forget Infamous? It's the N famous one. Appreciate all y'all for showing up and turning out. Very grateful for this opportunity to be drafting with everyone, and really appreciate you. If you are new to the channel and you're enjoying the content, if you want to stick around for draft 2, would really appreciate if you subscribed. If you missed out on joining the first lobby, if you were like, oh shit, he's been live for a minute, I didn't know, you can ring the notification bell down below. You will be notified every time I go live or have new content posted, especially when I'm dropping my ranks in the regular season. I do post them kind of late sometimes, but especially for like the waiver wire segment, stuff like that. Maybe sometimes you want to get in on it as quick as possible. But JSN here at the 106. I'm glad I didn't have to go Taylor for the second round in a row, but Green Bean takes him. We'll take JSN at a little discount, not much, but little discount. I'm happy with that. But David did make it. We got Bacon Flakes at the 109. That is Dan Bacon Flakes. I don't think I recognize Bacon Flakes. So if this is your first time joining us, Bacon Flakes, thank you very much, and appreciate you hopping in and subscribing. But sweet, Jamie, looking forward to it. Yeah, we definitely gonna have more consistent guests starting next week, and some familiar faces, some new faces as well. Really excited for this year. The vibes are high in the best ball streets these days, and I think collectively the community is gonna have a good season. Very excited for the summer. But Bryce says, just followed. I'm a hustle for it kennel. I'll be back on the clock tomorrow, so I might need some help seeing who I should take. First year doing Dynasty. Good luck, Bryce. I'll be honest, I'm getting very tempted in doing Dynasty myself for the first time. I'm thinking about it. I'm probably gonna give in at some point this summer. But what's up, FK Coolers? Vikings would dilute that entire offense for fantasy and be frustrating, in my opinion. Good for real life, but lowers most ceilings. Yeah, the Juwan Jennings signing would be a little mid in Minnesota. It's a relatively good fit. They don't have Jalen Naylor anymore. They didn't draft anyone, so unless that you really believe in Ty Felton, They need to replace. We just took Kenneth Walker at 19. I'll take that happily. Wow, Pickens went at 14. Rashi went at 12. Thank y'all for making that happen. JSN Walker feels very, very, very legit. Hell yeah. But Green Bean says 786 is one way to count. I've already lost the context. I think I took a few too many rips from the pipe. But thank you, Keith. Represent. Jamie, are these Best Ball Manias? No, if we get to 44 likes, then our third draft will be a Best Ball Mania. We got 48 watching. If we get 8 more likes before this draft is over, I'll draft the Best Ball Mania as draft number 3. Yeah, phenomenal vibes. Appreciate y'all for hopping in today. But you have any strong takes on the late 4-5 running backs Bucky, Hendo, Scat, Judkins, Swift, and Tootin? I love Hendo. I love Swift. I wish I took more Scataboo in the pre-draft. Oh, was it 40 likes, Jeremy? We'll keep it to 40. We'll keep it to 40. My bad. Yeah, four more likes. If I said 40, I'll stick to that. Typically, I like the alliteration. I go with the double numbers sometimes, but yes, indeed, 40. I remember. You are correct. Apologies. Sure. Pick 30. Yeah, we'll go Jeremiah Love. We'll do it. But yeah, Swift was one of my most drafted in the pre-draft. I had him at 20%. I'm starting to regret fading Manungai so much, but still I'm very, very happy with my Devontae Swift bag. How's my volume looking so far now that the new contest dropped, and any specific contest goals? So far, I don't think I've gone overboard. I think I did a lot more big boards than I expected to do, and for the sake of the bankroll, I just want to be a little bit more like slow paced with it in the beginning so I don't go overboard. And I can always catch up on the bankroll spending later in the summer, but once you spend it, you can't get it back, and I don't want to have to like slow it down later. So if it's not been on the stream, I haven't drafted too much. I'm kind of trying to pin down my ranks a little bit in like my free time, and if I can get 1 or 2 drafts off the live, I'll try to do it. But in general, I try to keep it on the stream a little bit more. So let me refresh my memory, and I'll do this in a separate window. We'll keep the board up. So far, I've done 10. This is my 9th puppy, and I've done 2 Best Ball Manias coolers. So far, I haven't gone a little too overboard. I feel like this is the time of year where you can make the most mistakes. Like drafting zeros, I think is a lot more likely at this point of time. So while there are some like phenomenal values, there's also like some pitfalls I'm worried about later on. So I'm not trying to go too overboard, but I feel like in general, I want to keep in pace with the puppy for the most part, and try to do like around 40-50 puppies at the minimum. I'm not doing a single eliminator though until the schedule comes out. That's like kind of the only major plan that I've tried to stick to. No eliminators at this point in time. A little tricky here. But I do really like Jameson Williams in the 4th round. I think JMO's a correct 4th round pick. And I especially when a round is so heavily dominated by a certain position like round 4 is, all the receivers in round 4, you know, like that's kind of the tone of the 4th round. And some of them deserve to go in the 3rd, like Devontae, T. Higgins, and Tet. That makes some relative sense, but in general, if they're correct in the 4th, then you could probably also justify taking them at the very tail end of the 3rd. But to put a little button on your question, Coolers, I'm trying not to go too overboard until I readjust to like my awareness of the board. Like until you have enough volume to like play every position and kind of get used to like, okay, in this round, I felt like I was really missing out on running back. Let's try to avoid that next time. And then as you fix that type of error later in the round, I've consistently noticed I'm weak at tight end at this point. That's never possible. So let's pivot to quarterback. Let's say later in the draft, I'm really weak at quarterback. Let's adjust on that. And then you just kind of try to learn from mistakes. I mean, Adams falls here. He's on the thumbnail. I'll take him at a discount. Pick 54. Feels like a smash spot for Lamar Jackson, but trying to get a little bit different. Maybe a JMO Adams team is not that common with someone like Ken Walker, but I am taking several guys on the left side of the board. Maybe I should start trying to pull up some guys from the right side of the board. But ultimately, my to put the button on it, my big contest goal is to make the finals. that's what I'm trying to do. Let's get some more teams in the finals than I did last year. I hope that was good. I let you know I was gonna give you a longer countdown that time, but I feel like 10 seconds is a little overkill. So hope so. Check out Jamie's Dynasty Rookie Draft, especially if you play Dynasty. I'm sure that's worth a listen. But I need 3 more likes. Keith retracted the message. I missed it. I would assume so. I would assume so. The touchdown production feels pretty safe. The yardage, a little less so. I'm not convinced Adams is going to go back over 1,000 yards this year. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't get it. Maybe this has to do with Keith's message. Thomas is still here. One of the few I really like trust at this point. Yeah, let's do it. BTJ, pick 67. Liking the wide receiver room a lot so far. JSN, JMO, Adams, and Brian Thomas. And then our running back room, really good combo. Not paired too often together. Kenneth Walker, ADP 15, and Jeremiah Love, 25. Those are very opposite ends of the board. Paired him up at pick 6. Appreciate you, Coolers. One of your goals is trying to really focus in one of the best structures and be willing to skip other stuff. Yeah, there are some contests that I don't think are going to be really worth it to me. Like, sometimes the $1 contest feels kind of worthless a little bit. But looks like if Jeremy says we need 2 more likes, I still haven't liked this live stream myself. So here's what I'll do. I'll be one of them. I'll be one of those likes. Because at this point, I want to see it happen myself. I'm like 39. I'm going all in on punt quarterback and punt tight end this year. Seems to be the best strategy of the winners of BBM historically. This year, I don't think punting quarterback is wise. I don't think you want to fully be punting quarterback. Maybe you can thread the needle, get the best values late, but I think in general, I don't want to be punting quarterback. Here, I want to be hammering quarterback. Round 7 feels like there's so many errors. And if you just take your favorite quarterback that's justified, it all checks out. Give me a Trevor Lawrence, Brian Thomas stack. I know that that's not wrong. I'm pretty convinced that that's not an error in round 7. Looks like we hit it. We're at 42 likes. Thank you so much. We will definitely be doing a Best Ball Mania as our 3rd draft. So this one's coming together so far, cooking up nicely, and we got a lot of friends and family in this lobby. So let's take a look. Team 1 going double tight end so far has Bowers and Warren. Severe Jury going bully tight end. We'll keep that in mind. He has Gibbs and Travion, London, Evans, and Lemon. No quarterback yet, but Super Beast went Bijan, Jacobs, Nico, Loveland, Terry, Caleb with Loveland, and then Parker Washington. Infamous has Drake May with AJ Brown. Love that. Jamar Romadunze, really good receiver room. McBride, Montgomery, and Harvey. I don't know about Harvey there at 75, Infamous. Think about it a little bit more, my man. Maybe you don't care about Jonah Coleman, but it's pretty crowded. And last year, Harvey did like almost nothing until Dobbins got hurt. There were like 2 spike weeks with Harvey where he found the end zone. I don't think he's like not worth drafting at all, but at pick 75, I don't know about that, my man. That's a little hard to swallow. But if Herbert's still there, Dave, are you gonna leave me Herbert? You have Hampton. I'd be shocked if you do. You take Rico from me, so all right, I'll take Herbert then. It was either Herbert or Rico, but you're gonna leave me Herbert at 91. Yeah, we got some back stacks available. I'm not gonna shy away from that, my boy. Herbo will win. This is a very legit year to be betting Justin Herbert for MVP. He got a vote last year. Mike McDaniel made Tua look pretty good. Herbert is going to deliver this season. I think Herbert's going to be back to like his first two seasons in terms of upside. Like if you told me Herbert threw nearly 5,000 yards this year, I don't think it's impossible. Now, I would feel better if they had like a better top wideout, but especially if they add someone like Debo. Mike McDaniel's going to make this really work out. So, a falling value on Herbert? Fuck yeah. I think once you hit round 7, Herbert is arguably the most compelling quarterback on the board. Because Dart is also compelling, but Dart didn't run for as many yards as Herbert did last year, and Herbert doesn't enter the blue tent every fucking game. It's worth it, Huhames. It's worth it. But it maybe wasn't necessary. We're up to 43, so but I think it's worth it. Jaden Reed's still on the board? Hell yeah. I am a little lacking at running back, perhaps, but we have Kenneth Walker, Jeremiah Love. I'm willing to push it. But I'm probably like avoiding receiver for a minute. Now, maybe I should have just taken Quentin Johnston there. But the falling value on Jaden Reed, I think, is more valuable. Feel really good about the Packers wideouts. the first year in like forever where the Packers have not drafted a wide receiver. So Jaden Reed locked into some production, and maybe you believe in the Matthew Golden breakout, but Golden hasn't quite delivered yet. Christian Watson often gets injured. Tucker Kraft coming off a big injury. Jaden Reed also had a couple injuries last year. Collarbone and a foot injury. Not ideal, but at least he enters the season, you would assume, as close to fully healthy as possible. But Everyone Flux loves Shuck, and Penix is about as far as I'd go, as far as what punting means to me. That's the thing, though. Penix might not get any starts. If you want to do that, go for it. For me, the guy super late is Rodgers, but like they all fit in at different tiers of the position. I want stabs at different tiers, and I don't want to be left where I need one of the worst tier quarterbacks to fall to me as my QB2, or worse, I have to reach for one of them. I don't want to get behind at quarterback. And like I said, there are multiple errors in round 7. There's just not that much of a difference, in my opinion, between DK Metcalf and someone like Michael Pittman going almost 30 picks later. So, like, why not just take more like a money in the bank quarterback that you like? Maybe you don't like Jordan Love. Maybe you don't think it works for your build. Maybe you just think he's overrated. Maybe he gets hurt, but like, it's a much different tier, much lesser value later on. Damn, I really want to take Gadsden, but structurally I kind of feel like I should be taking Gainwell right now. I don't have a tight end though, and then I did pass on Quentin Johnston, so I'll take the stack again. I mean, I really talked myself into Gadsden on the last one, and stacked up, it makes a lot of sense. So we'll do that. I at least need to be pivoting off of receiver, and while maybe I could have taken Baker there, it just felt a little overkill. Gainwell goes immediately after 116. I think Gainwell's in a really valuable spot. Like, really? You trust JCM at 101? Like, Homer gets a good price on Gainwell here, but like, I think Gainwell is much more valuable than JCM. Your take was Javonte Williams should be slotted right after Jacobs and before ETN. I'm not taking him before ETN, but I will take him above Bucky for sure, and above Breece Hall. I'll take Javonte over Breece Hall for sure, and maybe even over Kyron. The Kyron Williams debate, I think, is worth exploring. Because for Blake Corum to be so valuable, something has to give regarding Kyron Williams. But they keep drafting tight ends, and that offense doesn't have many receivers, so there's still probably a lot of touchdowns available. We'll see about that. But Coolers says, I think some of the tier 1 quarterbacks are currently undervalued, so full punting seems suboptimal to me. But then the next tier, like Dak and company, is arguably too high and will fall a little bit. There is a range that I think is weird, but then even in the Dak and company, there are some names like Justin Herbert, for instance, that I really, really do trust. Rachaad White's still available, so getting a little bit of a gift. Maybe not in the eyes of some, but in my opinion, Rachaad is the most valuable Commanders running back. I'd much rather have Rachaad than JCM, straight up. So to get him 25 picks after JCM in this lobby, Homer got Gainwell, but I think I got the better Commander at running back. I'm just going to step away for 1 sec, but I will be right back, I promise, very quick. Okay. Finally getting back into running back. Passing on Gainwell probably wise, because the tight end market really dried up. My boy Goddard went to Super Beast. He did not have Jalen Hurts, but still took him. Very, very legit. So I would have been looking at a much grosser tight end room, and Gadsden really pairs nicely with Herbo. So I think I played that correctly. But I do think Gainwell could be still more valuable than Rashad. No worries, man. I appreciate your input. I appreciate your perspective. For redraft, says Jamie, Coleman is an injury player, but for Dynasty, Dobbins is on the last year of contract. Yeah, Dobbins this year, I think, is the play in redraft. In best ball, you might want to mix in all three, but at the very least right now, let Harvey fall a little bit lower. Harvey could be going back-to-back with Dobbins, honestly. At least in my opinion. I just think guys like Jordan Love and Goff are really good value, so I feel good going discount. As long as you get, two in the discount area, then I think you can make it work. But like, there's some tough sledding sometimes. Like you can really get sniped quite often. Nobody else is going to be forgiving to the guy that's thin at quarterback. The risk of being punished by the room is very legit. But wow, is this going to be my first Malik Willis share? I never take this guy, but a full round when nothing else is like super inspiring and my receiver room is like fantastic. All right, let's do it. 3 QBs for me today. We're going Malik Willis at 139. More palatable for sure. ADP's in like the early 120s. I think it's 123. So I never take him, but unstacked, a little justified rushing upside there. Sure, there's not that many running quarterbacks remaining. But man, I never take Malik Willis. This is a surprise. But at least it's at a value. If you're gonna take a player you don't like, let it be at a value. Baker, definitely one of my favorites as well. He feels like one of the best backups. I also love Tyler Shuck. I also think Darnold is underrated. Darnold's still on the board in this lobby, but some people disagree. Peter says, I was just saying I agree with Keith. Javonte feels like a smash after fading any competition for touches in the draft. Yeah, the contract and last year's commitment, I would trust Javonte to keep it moving. Cooler says Brissett is the late one I'm mainly out on since it feels like he's the underdog to be on the field. Yeah, I'm not drafting Brissett very often. Even Willis, I think, is very live to be benched. I don't know about that. Feels like this year's Justin Fields, but last year we were drafting Fields at like 104. At least it's 3 rounds later today. But I could still argue that Malik Willis here is a bad pick. He's still going too high. Darnold, damn it. Yeah, even Darnold's still on the board. This lobby not forcing it at that position. So I'll just take a stacking partner. I'll go Brenton Strange. My receiver room is still really strong. I have Jackson Smith and Jigba. So the Darnold click makes more sense. Yeah, fuck. I never take Malik Willis for a reason. I should have probably just taken like Shaheed or something. Maybe running back there was the correct decision. Y'all fooled me. I bit the cheese. But it is what it is. I'm still learning how to approach Malik Willis. But then there's some people that would argue I got to fucking steal. In general, I'm just underwhelmed taking a Miami Dolphin. Everyone Flux, worst quarterback team so far, I think, is Mendoza, Shuck, and Shador, which I think is pretty live, even if it's pretty bad. I don't think that's terrible. Shuck is definitely the QB1 on that one. Shuck is better than I think some people think. But Jamie says JCM bust. They just drafted Katron. Yeah, Katron I think is a problem for JCM, but I don't think Rashad and his pass blocking talent is going to keep him off the field. The floor is very safe, in my opinion, for Rashad. And then the ceiling is live to be like... There were stretches in Rachaad White's career where he was averaging 90 plus yards and a touchdown per game for like 10 plus weeks. The year before they drafted Bucky, Rashad was very consistent, and a lot of that was receiving yardage. If you're in a full PPR league, don't you dare take JCM over Rachaad White. That's a huge mistake in my opinion. But Bigsby goes 160. Dan not letting me have him. This is where Bigsby is still probably undervalued, honestly. So I respect it. But now I'm in a little tricky situation. We're going to go back to my bread and butter, Brian Robinson Jr. I need running back for sure. So B-Rob to the rescue. Just above ADP, deserves to rise. Just like Bigsby deserves to rise. He went early in this one. Give me B-Rob over Tyjae Spears. No offense, Danimal, but I'm very concerned about Nick Singleton. Tyjae just can't stay healthy. So I think Singleton, if he cracks open the RB2 role, I don't think he's going to give it back. Gainwell did get paid $7 million, so history shows that number has a 66% hit rate to be top 24. I mean, the fact that Bucky has fallen so much and Gainwell has also fallen, like, I don't really hear too many people actually hyping up Sean Tucker that convincingly, so I don't get it. At the very least, Gainwell should also be rising to counter the Bucky Irving discount. Don't quote me on that percentage, but it's close. I'll assume it's close. Yeah, already quoted. Thoughts on a late round OBJ flyer? Nah. OBJ has retired, I believe. Not the move. I'd rather take Keenan Allen than OBJ. But coming back on the clock here. We did take him in the last one. Thing is, my running back room is a little thin. But fuck it, I'm gonna push it and I'll go Trey Harris. We'll get back in at receiver. It's been a minute. Our last pick was at 102. This is 174. And our only other stack with Herbo right now is Gadsden. So valid pairing. Debo was taken off the board, so wasn't going to talk myself into it. Just take the guy that's already on the roster, who's poised for a breakout. Round 2, sophomore Trey Harris, I think, is one of the best receiver clicks. That's not a free agent. The free agents I still think are mostly better. Not Ayuk, though. Ayuk doesn't count. Don't quote me on Ayuk there. Here's the thing. Ayuk is not a free agent, actually. Ayuk is still a Niner. Until Ayuk is a free agent, he is not safe here at all. The Niners hate him. He burned the bridge. They're going to be bitter as fuck about it. You know Kyle Shanahan's a fucking dick. Ayuk is going to be dragged through the mud, and he won't be released until at least like August. And who knows, maybe even like August 25th. Ayuk is going to be held hostage for as long as possible. I'm starting to really sour on Ayuk. Ayuk deserves to fall to probably like around 17. Round 14, I think, is too high on Ayuk. But I could just handcuff Kenneth Walker in Kansas City. I wouldn't hate that. Not terrible. And then the last team I drafted had 3 tight ends. I think I might push tight end again if we like it in the final round. But here, running back is probably a priority. So what does Dave do? He goes Tyreek Hill. Good discount on Emmett Johnson. I'm not dying to do a handcuff every time, but here's what's fun. Every single guy I have wears a red jersey. Emmett Johnson also in Kansas City. Yeah, we got a full red shirt running back room. let's take that as a sign that they're not going to get injured. Or I don't know what to make of it. But here's the thing. I am pro handcuff when you are hyper committed to your top option. And given Rashad White is my third, I feel actually very committed to my top two options. So if this team sucks, it's because a guy like Kenneth Walker goes down with injury, and he's a bit injury prone. Jeremiah, I'm willing to assume, just stays fully healthy his rookie season, and I don't got to worry. But if Walker goes down, I am fucked. And at the moment, this little discount on Emmett Johnson, I'm happy to take him, round 16. But by the way, Herbert is my favorite tier 2 quarterback by a pretty sizable margin. Overall, I'm buying pretty heavy on the Chargers. Love it, my man. Love it. Love that the Chargers hype is Coolers approved. I don't know a single person in the space that has said anything bad about the Chargers. Like, there's some Quentin Johnston hate as always, but you know, people are coming back around to it, and that they picked up his 5th-year option. Like, I haven't heard a single person argue poorly about the Chargers. So just take them while you can. If people want to collectively keep sleeping on them, be my guest. They're Super Bowl contenders, man, without a doubt. They're gonna be fun this year. I am very proud to be a Chargers fan this season. But Shuck, Love, and Goff are values I would agree. I like Baker as well. But everything up to Shuck feels pretty safe. But Green Bean goes Auden and Njoku. I would have definitely considered Njoku. Not many tight ends left available, but we'll go Malik Washington. I don't take Malik Willis very often. We got the double Malik W, double stack. I like to say that. Malik Willis and Malik Washington in Miami. The double Malik W. There's going to be some chemistry there. Just you watch. Just you watch. But Quincy is team 1. Always start off strong and then sell. Quincy has Purdy and Goff stacked up with Gibbs and Evans, so that's pretty solid. You did go bully tight end. Mason is your third. That's a little tricky. Higgins and Stroud. Got Woody, and then Judy, Tesla, Mitchell, Katron. Yeah, some of the clicks late are tough to swallow. Judy has a fake ADP right now. Judy has an ADP when nobody knew they were drafting Concepcion and Denzel Boston. Judy is terrible right now. Not going to sugarcoat it, Quincy. Judy was a bad decision. Like, give me Debo all day over Judy. But not sure what this is, but it's a pretty melancholic face. I get it. Did I crush you? Yeah, I mean, you were pushing Malik. I think you're okay. I mean, oh no, you got Mendoza and Caleb. Yeah, it's a little tough. A little tough there. But I wasn't the only one, man. Here's the thing. Everyone's doing 3 quarterbacks. Most people are doing that these days, and it makes a lot of sense. Maybe it was the Stroud pick. Not sure. Let's see. Receiver, I think I can stop with 7. Tight end makes you want to vomit. I guess Dulcich does pair. We could go Chris Bell, but then Kamara's still here. Nah, Kamara in the final round. Let's go. I think Kamara's one of the last bastions of hope. Because as long as he doesn't retire, he's the clear handcuff to Travis Etienne. Very clear and obvious option. New Orleans, Alvin Kamara. All right, here's the team. JSN, Kenneth Walker, Jeremiah Love, J-Mo, Devontae Adams, Brian Thomas Jr., Trevor Lawrence stacked up with BTJ and Brenton Strange. Justin Herbert stacked up with Oronde Gadsden and Trey Harris. I also have Jaden Reed on this team. We got Rashad White, Malik Willis at a discount, but kind of wish I just took Darnold, in all honesty. But at least it was a good price on Malik Willis. So I got it out of my system. I never take Malik Willis. B-Rob, my go-to in the 14th right now. Trey Harris, one of my go-tos at receiver this late in round 15. Emmett Johnson in the 16th feels very nice. We got the handcuff to Kenneth Walker. And then Malik Washington stacked up in Miami. And Alvin Kamara, the backup in New Orleans, should get some catches this year. So yeah, running back, perhaps a little risky, but I have 6 of them. Feels pretty good. And then the top 2 are fairly legit. So yeah, this team, I like this team, but I do feel like it would have been maybe a little bit better had I just taken Sam Darnold instead of Malik Willis, because I have JSN. It would make sense. Anyways, I'll be honest with you. If you were in an earlier draft, I don't think I'm gonna do too many team reviews. Y'all are all in here though. Shit. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go fast. I already looked at Severe Jury's team, so I'm gonna skim it. The Jerry Judy click should have been Debo. Super Beast, Caleb Mendoza, Tua. Shouldn't have pushed quarterback as much. Bijan Jacobs, Dobbins, and Rodriguez. It can work, but a little thin. Receiver with Nico, Terry, Parker, Jacoby, Denzel Boston, Jennings, Trey Tucker, Jeremy, and Antonio Williams. A little overkill. Feels like a little overkill. The Denzel Boston ADP also feels like an error. I don't want to be drafting any Cleveland Brown right now. Like, maybe Quinshon Judkins is fine, but even Fannin, like, I don't know what to make of them. Too many mouths to feed. I don't know about Boston or Judy. I think Concepcion is the only one I'm like willing to take, but he still feels like he might be too high. And then, yeah, a lot of rookies. How many do you have? 9 of them? And then Loveland and Goddard. You can have a... Give me a 5th running back, because Dobbins has too much injury risk, my man. I either take a earlier quarterback or give me a 5th running back. One too many receivers, and it's probably Denzel Boston. Where'd you take Boston? You had Nico Collins. You took Boston over Stroud. And then are you complaining about... Nah, man. You dug your own grave. You should have taken Stroud. Stroud over Boston, 100%. Should have happened. That's where you went wrong. No ifs, ands, or buts. Stroud over Boston, especially when you got Nico. Infamous. Let's take a look at Infamous. Drake May, Baker Mayfield, that's fine. Montgomery, Harvey at 75. We mentioned Harvey's probably going way too high right now, but he's still spike week eligible. So I kind of understand, but I made the mistake myself. It feels like you should probably pass for a quarterback, most likely. Corum, Keaton Mitchell, Pacheco, and Emmanuel Wilson. Pretty solid depth. Harvey is a little important to the success of this team, though. Several handcuffs that can do nothing any given week. Harvey and Corum, very critical here. Wide receiver, though, feels very strong with Jamar, A.J. Brown, Rome Odunze, Chris Godwin stacked up, Shaheed, Booty, and Tez Walker. Tight end, McBride, Kittle, and Henry also stacked up. Not bad. With Kittle, I'm happy taking 3, even though you have McBride. But, yeah, running back... Interesting. Good luck with Harvey there. Green Bean went Bo Nix, Tyler Shuck, Daniel Jones. Pretty good. Running back Taylor, Chase Brown, Bucky, Mike Washington, LeQuint. So good luck with the handcuffs, but early investment up top, they should carry you over the line. And then if one of those two do hit, then you're in huge business. Receiver Olave, Waddle, Pierce, Sutton, Downs, Cooper, and Naylor. So you got the double stack with Bo Nix. Nice. Like that a lot. Barner, Otten, and Njoku, really good values. Triple hit the position in those 3 late rounds. I like it. I like the strategy. And good luck with these 2 handcuffs. Mike Washington 148, man. Whoa, you reached on Mike? Nah, that I can't endorse. I didn't realize you reached on Mike. I don't like that. I'll tell you right now. I don't love that. Not a fan of Mike Washington's ADP going up at the moment. We had Homer in here. I don't think Homer mentioned that they were in the chat. If I'm wrong, let me know, Homer. But I got a lot of people here, so I think I'm gonna skip over Homer because I don't think they are watching. This is my team. We already spoke about it. David has Lamar and Bryce Young. And then Hampton, Brees, Kyle Monangai, Rico, Rede, Sean Tucker. Very nice. Very, very nice. I mean, Brees, probably incorrect, but I took him last time, so it's probably fine. But not my favorite. Other than Brees, it's great. Amon-Ra, Burden, Tyson, QJ, Coker, Ayuk, and Tyreek Hill. The Ayuk click can't get behind, but the top 5 feel good, and Tyreek is probably worth it there, so that's not bad. And then, yeah, that's legit. Not bad, Dave. Young Moolah in the house got Allen, Deshaun, and Shador. I mean, you have both, I guess, but yikes. Genty, Henry, Tootin, Price, and Dylan Sampson, not bad at all. Egbuka, Metcalf, Pearsall, Concepcion, Shakir, Diggs, Flournoy. Pretty solid. And among the Cleveland Browns, I would say Concepcion is my favorite. But at 113, it could still be too expensive. Also has Fannin at 89. He deserves to fall, but it's in the 90s. I think it's fair. Kincaid, Juwan Johnson, pretty good tight end room. And then Kincaid and Shakir are stacked. Not bad. Allen and the Browns duo, that's legit. And then if you are going to stack, that's the right way to do it in Cleveland. Concepcion and Fannin, the only ones I think are worth mixing in. And if Sampson ever gets the rock, he's elite in the pass game. You know what? If you're going to take Cleveland, I think that's the way to go. I mean, I don't really want both of them, the quarterbacks, but if you're going to go Cleveland, I don't hate it, Young Moolah. I'm not going to push back too much on it. Daniels and Dak for Dan. Oh, is Dan watching? I think so. Yeah, Dan's watching. Daniels, Dak, Saquon, Etienne, Swift, Tyrone, Bigsby, and Kalen Black. Legit. Receiver has Lamb, Flowers, Wilson, Dobbs, Worthy, Wicks, and Stribling. Last 2 are rather questionable clicks, but could deliver. And Ferguson, Okonkwo, Stowers. Not in love with the Ferguson price or the Stowers click. But quarterback is correlated. Good team, my man. Good team. Honestly, it's kind of hard to have a bad team these days. Like, it's rare that I'm not, like, interested in everyone's viability most of the time. Hard to determine if my team is going to be top 2 in this one. This is a tough lobby to advance in. But Hurts, Kyler, and Geno. CMC, Achane, Ramondre, Aaron Jones, and Braylon Allen. For Libra. Devontae Smith, Garrett Wilson, Christian Watson, Addison, McMillan, Ridley, and Hollywood. Don't love McMillan, Ridley, and Hollywood. These last 3, I think, are very, very tough right now. McMillan needs to fall with the Ted Hurst drafting. I'm not going to take him above ADP. I'll let Jalen McMillan fall closer to like 150, honestly, at the moment. I'll wait to see where his price settles. And you didn't have Baker, so it wasn't like super critical. But receiver is tough late. The receiver can be tricky. I don't love these 3. I'll say that. Laporta, Sadiq, and Gesicki. Sadiq at a decent discount, but also yikes. And then Gesicki makes sense right now, but we'll see. Pretty legit, though. Can't complain about Lieber's team. Danimal had Burrow, Darnold, and Rodgers. That's fair. Got an insane discount on Darnold. Cook, Chuba, Tony Pollard, Brooks, Tajay, and Kimani Vidal. You might have drafted the wrong Titans running backs. I think Nick Singleton is a problem for Tajay at least. Maybe Pollard as well. Pollard a bit older than some people think, but you have both Carolina Panthers. Like I said, you might be sleeping on the wrong running back in both Carolina and Tennessee. My boys, Singleton and Etienne, might be the big fade. And then you took Kimani. So, in all honesty, beyond James Cook, I don't really love this running back room too much. But you will get Pollard and, like, Brooks delivering. It's good enough. It's fine. It's solid. But then Pickens, T. Higgins, DJ Moore, Pittman, Wandale, and Cup. Only 6 of them, but I think it can work. And then Kraft, Kelsey, and Freiermuth, legit. Risky at receiver, but I think it'll deliver enough to get by. But yeah, running back a little bit different. Going double handcuff in Carolina, Tennessee. Those backfields are so ambiguous. That's why I think the third actually does carry sneaky upside in both of them. All right, I believe that's it. I don't think Forey Wayne was watching. If he was, he never spoke up. I think I got to move on. I'm so behind in the chat, and I promised you a Best Ball Mania, so I'm gonna hop in. No countdown necessary. Let's just do it. Oh shit! I got the last spot. All right, we're at the 107 again. What's up, Al Boogie? How we doing? I was jealous that you won a free entry in the Dog Pound stream earlier today. Good luck to you with that. But I think I'm doing this solo. If I was the last one in, I might be doing this one solo. But we are officially in the BBM 7, which means we are on to a new soundtrack. Let's lock in, fellas. But at the very least, I like that I got some good practice in the middle of the board. Like the last 2 lobbies I was just in, was at pick 7 and pick 6. So there were some things I learned from, and definitely some things I'll be taking away and adopting in this. Thank you, Danimal. I really appreciate it. And yes, Al Boogie, phenomenal picture. This deserves a little zoom. There we go. And also a very legit message. The rookies carry a lot of risk. I would agree. But your favorite reporter has all the inside scoops. Scoop City. I believe was her podcast. We're gonna go Jonathan Taylor. Like the team earlier that had Taylor at the 107. We'll do that again. That was a tough room. Not gonna lie. That was a tough room. Like going over everyone's team, it was hard to find a flaw in many people's teams. A lot of good stacking correlation, a lot of good structures, and just hopefully you got the right names. My team might have been a little thin at running back to advance in that one. I liked my team, but I thought it could have been perhaps a little bit better. The quarterback market fell off a cliff in terms of like desperation. Quarterbacks were pushed heavy in that last one. But all right, the poll has 55 votes and 36% of y'all have voted Josh Allen. Coming in second place, Caleb Williams at 25%. A quarter of y'all think Caleb is too expensive. 20% say none of the above. They're all fair values. No one's too pricey. And then the least expensive of the three is Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson apparently is the most valuable of the three quarterbacks on today's poll. Which quarterback is too expensive? Y'all have voted. The people have spoken, and Lamar Jackson is the least chosen answer for this poll. I think that's more valuable information than who is the most voted for player on this poll, honestly. Yeah, it's probably Josh Allen who's going in the third, and then nobody else goes until the fifth or sixth. I would agree. I think Josh Allen probably the most expensive, but he's still probably worth it. Like, I like that many of y'all also voted for none of the above. But I'll leave the poll up. Looks like we're still getting some votes coming in, so if you haven't voted already, I'll leave that up for you to check out. Yeah, the Malik squared. Sorry, I'm so late on that. But yeah, the Malik squared strategy. It's a good stack. The vibes feel good. But sweet, we get Derrick Henry again. Fuck yeah. I like that puppy draft, and now we have this start in a Best Ball Mania. Who knows? Maybe I'll take Breece Hall again. But starting off Taylor Henry feels great.
Nice and blunt.
Yeah, the lobbies, I think, are rapidly going to get sharper, and I think that's the value of drafting on the first few days. Like, you may just never see that price again on some guys. But Herbert directly behind Burrow. Love to hear that. Love it. Herbert definitely in line to be probably my most drafted quarterback this year by a mile. I don't take Malik Washington too often, but for the Malik squared, I'll do it. But like I said, I never take Malik Willis, so I rarely ever get the Malik squared. But Acevedos is not sold on Dobbins fully healthy, especially since Denver drafts another running back. But week one, I think he's their RB1. Week one, I think Dobbins is the guy. So that's where I think he is a good option. Peter has been 0% Judy because he's a Denver fan. That tracks. Yeah, that's a typical Jerry Jeudy experience. The one time you trust him to fail you after believing him forever, he delivers. Yeah, my Malik Willis pick was the only regret I had on that one, but it felt solid. I'm sorry, Jeremy. I'm sorry. Here's the thing about BBM. Like, in general, you hop in and it takes, the longest to fill. I was like, I'll join, and like, even if there's like only 4 spots, it'll take like 2 minutes. I was like, no fucking way. I was just the last one in, man. I'm sorry. I apologize, but I'll go Devontae. Consistently in the third. I vehemently apologize, though. Keith says, on my last pick, I had to choose between Tua and Cousins. Is it correct to select who you think is going to play the most? Or would you just lock up the position by taking both quarterbacks on the same team? I would take who I think plays the most, which is Tua. I'm taking Tua over Cousins. Yeah, we never stop, my man. Never stops. Yeah. At least in best ball, there is no bench, It's just the spikes count. But Keith respectfully disagrees. I respect your conviction. Yeah, the Nico Collins CJ Stroud stack I think was valuable to you. But Bacon Flakes Appreciate you hopping in, man. Catch you tomorrow. Thanks for coming in. What I need to zoom in on your thumbnail. Is this Randy Marsh? No, it's not Randy Marsh, but I think this is a South Park reference. Is it? No. I'm not sure where this is from. But thank you for hopping in. Catch you tomorrow. First time you taking Breeze. It's not the most comfortable thing to do, is it? I don't take this guy very often, but fuck it. This will be a Luther Burden team. We'll pass on Lad today. In BBM, we'll go Burden. Sorry. Not tonight. I guess not tonight. Yeah. I apologize. I apologize. The odds that it happens are so slim. And even if I had given you a countdown, it might have happened as well. You know what I mean? Like, if I was just going to be the 12th person in, I was just going to be the 12th person in. I apologize, though.
Nice.
Very fair, valid points being raised. I was... The team reviews took forever. And I was just like, all right, let's fucking move on. So sorry. I'm sorry. But at the very least, it wasn't the other way around, where you got in and like multiple of you are in a lobby before I was able to get in. Like that's the double-edged sword of the countdown. You could also fill a lobby right before I get in as well. Given the delay, sometimes poses a problem. But in general, you have a much higher chance of getting in with me. So I do apologize. Sorry. I agree, Who Hames. I think I went a little overkill. Damn it, Travion almost made it to me. Shit, that would have been nice. But let's see if I get gifted the combo, or if someone's gonna prevent it. I'm not convinced I get it. I'll tell you that. Yeah, I'm worried about this team at 9 that just took Swift. Yeah, probably gonna snipe me on Caleb. Dobbins is fine. GM said he would have played in the Super Bowl. Yeah, I think Dobbins has the injury concern on Dobbins doesn't scare me, but damn. The Lamar Jackson at 59 to Zay Flowers out of the 11 slot. Damn. Yesterday I got that at pick 60 and 37, but that was in the puppy. Damn. But Team 1 took Terry and Jaden. That's notable. Thank you, my man. Much appreciated. Thank you, Keith. And if anything, it'll help me in the EV to not have any of you in this lobby with me. There's a part of me that's not too upset about it. Because I mean, if you watch the team reviews on the last one, holy shit, the last draft we were in was fucking tough. Yeah, there is some upside to how it went on my end, no doubt about it. But I'll remember next time, I promise. Your son took over your YouTube Roblox character. Okay, I see it. That makes more sense. But this is locked and loaded. Definitely Not gonna fuck around. We're taking Caleb, double stacked in Chicago. Let's go. Not the most common pairing. If anything, it's kind of tough to even get one Chicago Bear stacked with Caleb. So I'm happy with that. The team, Fred Vegas has 4 running backs so far. A little jealous, but my receiver room is pretty good. Much better than just having Ladd McConkey. But man, if I'm not gonna jinx it, but if there's the name I would available at 79 that I have seen like fall at times, I'd be so ecstatic. But Harvey goes to Degenerate Austin at the 101, pick 72. He's getting his guys. He took Terry and Daniels. There's Harvey and Sutton. Maybe a Denver fan. Turn the lights off. Just got Bucky at pick 50. Did I miss something? No, I don't think you missed anything. Just some consistent Bucky Irving hate. Holy shit. This is
Nice and blunt.
I actually believe it might happen because this lobby's been going weird. Ramondre off the board. The team Fred Vegas knows what he's doing, but holy shit. Holy shit. Y'all are joking. Fuck yeah. I wasn't going to jinx it and say it, but that's who's been on my mind this whole fucking time. I was like, I double stacked Chicago. If you can give me Jalen Hurts here and Devontae Smith. Oh, fuck. I am so happy about this. Damn. Like, I'm sorry if you believe in these names, but you can't convince me that any of the skill players after Alec Pierce, like even Parker Washington, were more valuable than Jalen Hurts. Maybe Tyler Warren, but really none of y'all wanted Jalen Hurts unstacked? Damn, I think I'm just going to stop at 2. But this feels great. I'm really, really happy about this. Devontae Smith, Luther Burton, and Roma Dunze paired up with Caleb and Jalen Hurts. I'm pretty happy. And I don't think this would have happened if y'all were in this lobby. I don't think this would have ever fucking happened. I'm pretty stoked so far. This deserves a hit from the pipe, I'll tell you that. It's been a minute since our last smoke break. Definitely deserves it. All right. I think I do move off of quarterback, though. I'm glad I did not take Ladd McConkey because I'd be tempted to go Herbert here. And this definitely worked out much better. But I know where I'm going. Barring a snipe, I know exactly where I'm going. Rico, come on down. I've learned that I can say the name when it's within like 5 seconds because the delay between my live and your experience is like enough where if I say it, it's like literally the last fucking second. Someone might hear it. So, yeah, Rico was definitely who I wanted there. Get back in at running back. I think a bit of a tier break at the position. Rico, I feel really strong about in the 8th round. Y'all know he's one of my guys. But Fancy Dog is back, always tapped in. 48 likes, rock on my best ball brothers. Yeah, thank y'all so much tonight. Y'all were rocking it on the likes. And yeah, very, very justified for the BBM entry. One of those likes is me, but I honestly, I've loved every team I had on this one. I like this stream a lot. Good vibes today, flying high. And We did just finish the bowl, so I'm going to pack a fresh one. And we'll probably take 2 more hits before we go. But so far, haven't made a mistake. And got a little luck. And there's a big run on quarterback since my last pick. Every team behind me took a quarterback. Dobbs comes off the board. Dobbins is still here. That's pretty notable, but we've mentioned it a few times now. I think Michael Pittman's a really good value here. Granted, Dobbins is there as well. I'll take Dobbins. I'm never going to be too upset about having a good depth at running back. So, for any running back that you like in the first place to fall, that's probably a sign you should take him. A full 6 picks is pretty decent. But thank you, Fantasy Dog. I like it as well. Perhaps the Dobbins click there was a little overkill, but I still think I'm going to get a good receiver in the 10th round. Like, once again, more quarterbacks are flying off the board. There's just not a sense of urgency in this lobby at wide receiver right now. And it'll probably happen. Yeah, that team goes Pittman, has Warren, so double Pittsburgh. Also kind of on the same page. But Ferguson at 109 to the team with Dak. I think they took him too early. I think you can get Ferguson at 132 pretty easily when you have Dak. Gainwell to Baker, the Baker team. I'm happy about that because I kind of was thinking about maybe taking Gainwell. So for him to go feels pretty valuable. But I'm not taking him. I'll put it that way. And then I'm about to get either Kyle Pitts or Quentin Johnston. Yeah, leave me Kyle Pitts, please. But even if it's QJ, that's great. Either way, it's fucking. He goes Kittle over Pitts. Nah, I'm not passing on. Whew. This is fun. This is a fun Best Ball Mania entry. I'll tell you that. Kyle Pitts 114. Behind Ferguson and George Kittle. Wow. But any thoughts on Taj Brooks? Asked 2 Mules. I think he's kind of interesting, but I think Samaje Perine is probably also very legit. Just from the sake of, like, you know, every player has injury risk, so you can't pretend like Chase Brown is just automatically staying healthy, and at some point the backup will be relevant. In Cincinnati, in that regard, you can take him in the final round. I think that's fine, but in general, I'm not taking Taj Brooks. I think you can mix in Samaje even more often than Taj Brooks. I think at this moment exactly, I might prefer to have Samaje Perine. Taj just never really did anything last year. I have a lot of running backs already, so I don't think I can afford Chris Rodriguez, but I can 100% afford Dallas Goedert on this one. Fuck. Oh my God. Like, I can probably stop at 2 tight ends now. I might stop at 2 quarterbacks. I can just load up on receiver depth. This is going to be a really nice one. Really fun team. Oh boy. And I didn't want to jinx it, Fancy Dog. I wasn't gonna pull up this comment until I secured it. But yeah, 100%. I'm not that excited about Hollywood and Wicks now though. If I had to take one of the two, give me Dontavian Wicks. But with Makai Lemon coming in, the fit isn't perfect, but I still see a problem with investing too heavily in the Jalen Hurts wide receiver 3. Historically, that's just not been the move. But Peter, I know. I'm so fucking glad I'm in this lobby, man. I'm so glad I don't have to worry about y'all sniping all the good picks. Like, I got such good values in this shit. Boy, this is a fun BestBall Mania entry. Fancy Dog, I never snipe on purpose. I can't keep up with my team. That doesn't mean I won't take your player. I just know I sniped you. Yeah, in general, you just got to take the best player for you. That's the best mantra. But Shakir might make sense for this build. I might just mix in Shakir, but I never like taking him. He's such a floor play, but he's not wide receiver 4. I kind of need just like raw points and like, you know, he can average like 60 yards a game, miss out on touchdowns, but yeah, I think he'll be good enough. I'll go Shakir here. A nice 11 pick discount as well. I need to get back in at receiver inevitably. And I think for the room I built, I think he offers a decent skill set. Not in love with it, never in love with the Shakir click, but for this moment, I think it's legit. So, a reminder, a recap. I'm rocking the 2-4-4-2, and this one's fun. We got Taylor and Henry in the first 2 rounds. Then I took Devontae Smith, Luther Burden, and Rome Odunze. I did get Caleb Williams at 66, and then I don't know what the fuck happened, but the room gave me Jalen Hurts at 79 with Devontae Smith. Fucking crazy good value. I got Rico at pick 90, Dobbins at 103, a 6-pick fall on Dobbins. Then I got Kyle Pitts at 114. I don't think anyone's going to have Dobbins and Kyle Pitts too often. Goddard at 127 to lock up the stack, and then we get back in at receiver with Khalil Shakir. Kind of mid, but for the sake of what I need, not bad. But 2 Mules says Jalen Lane gives me Parker Washington vibes. He had a better rookie year, believe it or not. Jalen Lane was okay when he got the ball, but didn't get it very often. I'm willing to fall for Antonio Williams, but I don't hate the Jalen Lane call at all. Don't mind it. That's still an interesting receiver room over there. All right, I think yeah, I'll go Keaton Mitchell. Just like league winning upside. Give me the Chargers handcuff, who can also spike even if Hampton doesn't go down. But I'm a full believer in Hampton. But even the year when Raheem Mostert scored over 20 touchdowns, Devon Achane still played really, really well. Keaton Mitchell doesn't need a shit ton of volume to pay off. Just want Chargers at the end of the day. So never afraid to get back in at running back. We might be done though. Taylor, Henry, Rico, Dobbins, and Keaton Mitchell might be done. But given I have Caleb and Jalen Hurts, Kyle Pitts and Goddard, might just stop with 2 of those onesies. And that means I can tolerate a 2-6-8-2. I can still draft 4 more receivers and take another running back if I want. That's probably what I'll do. Barring an elite value. But I don't think I'm taking another tight end. I'll tell you that. I don't think it's worth it. because they're not stacked up. What's up, Wilson? How we doing? You made a nice little Chargers team earlier. Gotta love it. Didn't it feel good? Didn't it feel great? Wasn't there just like not a single moment when you were making the clicks where like, yeah, this player is not going to pay off? You know, there's really like no fucking downside. There's like nothing wrong when you really evaluate every freaking Charger at ADP. Like maybe the top two most expensive are like, okay, maybe there's some weeks where they don't quite hit, but in general, when they really hit their upside, they're definitely crushing. It's probably still wise. And Diggs is there. Yeah, give me the veterans that haven't signed yet. I'll go Diggs at 162. Diggs, I would love in Las Vegas, honestly. I think Diggs in Vegas could be, you know, close to as good as last year. And that's a spot. Let's pull up salary caps. The Raiders still have $12.9 million in cap space. I don't think Diggs is getting like 20 million. So maybe he doesn't go there. But I like that spot for him. And he still has a lot of other options, other spots to go to. Debo not going to make it back, though. Debo goes to Fred Vegas. I feel like the team next to me was one of the only like other really sharp drafters. But he just overloaded running back so much early on. He's been kind of forced into some different directions. His receiver room is not one to envy. Ladd with Herbert, but then Romeo Dobbs is the 2. Omar Cooper's the 3rd. Shaheed's the 4th. Ayuk is the 5th, and then at least he has Debo. But yeah, the team 6's receiver room, not that exciting. He went Kyron at RB3 and then Travion at RB4. Also, early investments at both quarterback and tight end. All right, this feels like a 2-6-8-2. But if I want to stop at 5 running backs, I can. But none of these tight ends are speaking to me. Trey Harris got sniped, which leaves Bigsby as my preferred option. Yep. Okay, now I'm done at running back. Bigsby, 175 all day. Such a fun team. But now I got to get really sharp at wide receiver. I think these final 3 clicks all have to be receivers, and I think I need to be pretty sharp, which is tough to do right now. I think there's a lot of variables. You should not really be trusting the ADP at receiver this late. There's not that many who I think are really, really worth it. But then there are some that I think are super valuable, and we'll see what happens. But let me lock it in so my mind doesn't wander. I have Caleb Williams and Jalen Hurts. Stacking options include Wicks and Hollywood Brown and Stowers. Not taking Stowers. And then the Bears. All right. I'm taking 3 of them. So I think, sure. I think I'll do this. I kind of want to go Antonio Williams. I think he's going to get sniped, but I'll go Dontavian Wicks. Wilson, I think I'm gonna log off after this. This is our third draft of the evening. We did 2 puppies, and this is our third. It's a best ball mania draft, and I think we're gonna call it. But I got 49 likes on the live stream. Really appreciate all y'all coming out, and the vibes were high tonight. I am very grateful for everyone watching.
Nice and blunt.
Lift in the spirits. Thank you, Danimal. Thank you very much. Gotta land the plane though. Still got 2 picks. Gotta lock in, my man. What sucks is I can't take our boy. I can't take Trevor. But you know what? I think this team is set pretty well without him. Damn, even Singleton's on the board. Fuck. Give me Ted Hurst. Ted Hurst versus Jalen McMillan. I'll start investing heavily in Ted Hurst. The thing about the Buccaneers, when they draft receiver, they don't miss, man. They do not miss. Even when they draft everything, they got fucking Reuben Bain after all. Like, the Bucs draft picks have been so good consistently over the years. Like, other than like Jameis Winston, it's hard to think of a Tampa Bay Buccaneer that's been drafted in like the first 3 rounds, even kind of late, that's been like a true bust, especially at wide receiver. So I like Ted Hurst. The landing spot, phenomenal. Really big size and speed combo. Kind of crowded in Tampa Bay, but someone's going to replace Mike Evans. And I think this late, the Bucs passing game is one I want to invest in. So I'll go Ted Hurst. Give us a rookie. I don't have any rookies yet. I don't want to overload on rookies, but I will take them when I think they're a solid price, and I do think Hurst is a good price. And then lastly, y'all might not like this, but I was itching to take him in the pre-draft contest, and he wasn't even in the system. Taking Jade Walker. The man with the best fucking celebration in the game. Jade Walker on this team with Luther Burden, Romadunze, and Caleb Williams. If they don't score a touchdown one week, it's because Jade Walker is going to be sniping them. So the receiver room is the risky bet on this one, but we got the mystery box with Stephon Diggs at a nice ADP discount, 162, and I think he will deliver. Meanwhile, up top, we got Devontae, Luther Burden, Romadunze. All 3 of them are stacked up. Also got Dantavian Wick stacked up and Jade Walker, but Ted Hurst and Khalil Shakir rounding things out. I think this team is actually very reliant on Khalil Shakir. I hope he has a career season in touchdowns, but even if he doesn't, I think he really delivers. I get a lot of flex contributions at running back with Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry, Rico Dowdle, J.K. Dobbins, Keaton Mitchell, and Tank Bigsby. Elite upside if these last 2 pop, and then heavy contributions from the first 4. Strong at running back, and then we got fantastic quarterback and tight ends. I took Caleb at 66, now triple stacked, and then Jalen Hurts at a amazing falling discount, paired with Devontae Smith, also at a little discount, pick 31, and then I also got Dallas Goedert there. And then perhaps the true steal of the draft, if it wasn't that Jalen Hurts pick, it was Kyle Pitts at 114. Holy shit. I think I'm going to advance this team at the very least. If this team doesn't advance, I'd be kind of shocked. Just off of how it felt the entire time, this one I think is going to advance. So wish me luck. I really appreciate everyone that's hopped in. This was really, really fun. And tomorrow Gonna be tough to top it tomorrow, but let's come back. You know, let's manifest some good positive energy every day, and yeah, thank you very much for joining me. But before I go, I will hit the pipe one last time, and let's do it in the full screen. If you have anything as your nightcap, join me if you'd like. I'll see you on the other side. Whoops. Peace out. Good night. I'll see you on Thursday. Later.